어디 쇼해?
From the swamps of Louisiana, the Cajun Predator.
The day of the hairy freak or the fat slob is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, look at us. Ignore that last part. We did it again. Another 7 days round the sun. Welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live. Hello to everyone out there in cyberspace. For the first time ever, we are live on Twitter. I am not calling it X. Nor did I give Elon Musk money. I got a premium account thanks to a kind viewer who was like, hey, here, have this for a year. And I got to use it for something. So I'm live on Twitter, but I'm also live on Twitch. And Twitch is the place in space. Welcome to everyone in the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club, aka the chat. So if you're watching on Twitter, go get on Twitch, get in the chat. Twat sounds dirty. I see Jonathan Mayer, everybody's friend. Jonathan Mayer's here. Refs' Wizards, hello. Peter Crawford, Signal, no, glad to have ya. I know you said you've been missing them. Let's get in the twat with Teo Cham. Jonas Albert's here. Chandrox, Optimum Vision, no, you stick it, pal. Judas Effect, B. Clark for Dark. Let's see, Cecil Nix, one of Canada's wrestlers. I'm kidding, Cecil. You're a fine wrestler and a great table jumper. Cecil Nix is not here. All right, I was confused by the joke. Anyway, hello, Whiskey Spachimin, aka Whiskey Spaceman. Hello, everyone. Green boy. I'm a green boy. You're a green boy. We're all here together. So anyway, let's talk about, wow, things are just blowing up. Apparently, this Twitter thing's working. We've already looking at the stats. I just broke my all-time viewership record. We haven't even started tonight. If you combine the Twitter and the Twitch, so I think this worked. Let's talk about the coolest thing I own. Look at that back there. Look at the letters, and it says Deep Cuts. It's me. That's not me, that's my thing. But it's my thing made by Brenticus Maximus, who, if you're in the chat, Brent, I am so sorry. There you are, there you are, Brent. I saw you in the chats. Brenticus Maximus, aka Brent, who has a really cool 3D print shop on Etsy that you can go check out. BrentTech.etsy.com. Use my code, not that Tom Green, 10% off your own sign, just like this. He's also got some other really cool stuff. Again, it's a 3D print shop. He's got like handheld game decks. He's got some retro game art. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's a good point, Jonathan. I've never even noticed that on the art. Matching wrist tape. Again, Brent nails the fact that I never go anywhere topless. Oh, look at me. So anyway, we have, if you combine both platforms, we have over 200 people here right now. And so let's go ahead and get started. We got so much show. Let's go watch WCW Pro New York from October 1991. Let's go.
You keep sticking your nose in Luger's business.
As always, let me know
You buddy, you're
how the audio is.
Well, he's not going to wait any longer. He's heard all the talking.
Hell yeah, we got an update from Sunday. Watch Off the Grid. Cecil mentioned possibly asking Uno about booking Wolfie D for Mystery Wrestling. Cecil says, I told Uno to book Wolfie D and he laughed and then stopped talking to me. So a solid maybe. Look at that, that's my fingers being crossed. So this is the WCW Pro. It's the show that was aired nationally, but with like New York specific inserts. Hello, Yankee Hawk.
Thanks for being with us here tonight, everyone. We've got an outstanding
Bam
broadcast.
Dog?
More on the volatile situation involving Lex Luger and his entourage, Barry Windham and Ron Simmons, as this hour progresses. But Paul,
Yeah,
we've
this
got a
is the most
phenomenal
hair
main
Paul
event in the next 60 minutes.
will have
Bill
had
the Butcher and
the rest of
Cactus
his
Jack
life.
will take on the strongest human
There.
being in the world, Bill Kazmaier. His partner will be Flying Brian.
Well, all the little stingers out there know that Sting is afraid of Abdul the Butcher and Cactus Jack, so Sting sent two of his buddies, Bill Kazmaier and Flying
That's right,
Brian,
about a
to
decade
a
after
studio.
this, Ruff's Wizards brings
Sting has
up.
a commitment. He could
Oh,
be-
I have
In
commitments all the
fact,
time.
these
Hey,
two would be
today I'm
calling
supposed to
Monday
have
Night
Harvey
Raw
Fierstein.
together.
I broke the commitment to be here. Is that so wrong?
And Harvey have another date.
A
I can't
Harvey
understand it. Ladies and
Fierstein
gentlemen,
impression
broadcast. We've heard all about Halloween
on a
Night
wrestling
pay-per-view.
show. How about
What is the
that?
Chamber of Horrors? Will we find out
Of
today?
course, sir.
Paul's
Missy Hyatt and I go to see
26
Caucus
years
Jersey to
old.
find
How many followers will it take to? Off the grid. We'll probably do a WrestleLicious off the grid sooner or later. I want to do it, so I'm sure we'll do it sooner or later. There we go, Tracy Smothers, looking like he came from the adult dancing service in the Yellow Pages. WrestleLicious was the 2010s version of WoW. I'm with you, Cecil. When I was a kid, I thought Bill Kazmaier was going to be the world champion because I also saw those replays of the strongman shows. And he was the best. He was the man. He wrestled in Stampede before WCW, which I don't think I knew till recently. Got Bob Cook, friend of the account, Bob Cook.
You know, I've never been to Secaucus, so I'm...
I always mention it. Big, Evil Knievel historian, Jonathan Mayer, stepping in, pointing out my favorite thing about a singlet is the ladies' bathing suit strap that goes across the back.
October 27th, Halloween Havoc pay-per-view is mired.
God, what was the name of that dude? I know who you're talking about, Cecil.
And we hope to
I know who you're talking about.
get some answers.
Somebody will look it up and
And the
I'll know it immediately. But I think our brains are frozen in the same spot.
By Tracy.
I love that little thing Bob Cook did there, like the.
Pro Wrestling New York, up and over, nice move, and catches Cook with a drop kick. Perpetual offense by Tracy Smothers.
Bob Cook was one of those enhancement guys that all the wrestlers loved to work with. The show itself is not in New York. This was taped in, I think, Augusta, Georgia. But it's Tracy Crucifix. But they would do inserts and they would dub the commentary to be New York specific. Jeff Capes, that sounds right, Cecil. That sounds right.
Join forces for the first time here on Pro Wrestling New York to take on Flying Brian and the
essentially, the New York, New Jersey area was so important to WCW to break into because, both because it's a major media market and because WWE had such a stronghold, that they recorded market-specific commentary and inserts.
Roddy kick by Tracy showing some martial arts.
I still need to read that Dave Panzer book.
Oh, where's he going?
Oh, if for anything, I want to see those worldwide formats, those Saturday night formats that he had in there. By the way, I completely forgot to show it off. If you can see, Matt Botfin on Instagram, look at this shirt to commemorate the weeks that Nitro was taped at Disney MGM Studios. I wish I would have shown that off when I was full screen. We have, again, combining platforms, we have more than doubled my prior viewership record. We are up to almost 300 viewers across all platforms right now. So congrats to us, we did it.
Another karate kick by Tracy's looked very impressive on the offensive
So I think
side.
I think this cross streaming on Twitter thing might be a permanent thing, judging by these numbers. This is incredible. Only 300 good people on the internet. That's right, Teo Cham.
Tracy puts on the brakes, tries to avoid Cook. Elbow off the top.
By the way, thank you
rope.
to the Fees 23 and BR Express 13 for following right before I went live. Love Tracy. Hey, Therapy, we all need you. Glad to have you here. Again, if you're watching on Twitter and you're like, who are these people talking to Tom? Go get on Twitch. You'll be able to talk with all of us. We're having so much fun over here. So go check us out. Chip Sanity, I can't live stream WCW on YouTube. I can like put it up VOD. I just can't monetize it, which is fine because the YouTube VOD is just like an advertisement to get people here on Tuesdays. But there's Michael Hayes looking all slim and trim.
Thank you very much. Let me get it. Let me tell you something, folks.
Yeah, can't live stream where they threaten to take down my channel.
It don't matter. San Francisco, Seattle, Tampa Bay, St. Louis.
Jimmy Garvin looks like he's another person in disguise as Jimmy Garvin. Therapy.
And the Freebirds are synonymous. Neither one of us care about nobody else.
Thank you so much for the sub. If you've never watched before, I always say that the Twitch subs, I put them in a little syringe and then I stick them in my butt cheek. I get all big and jacked.
Ripping some tourist off for overpriced coffee or cake or milk in the airport. Let me tell you something, traveling tourists. If you go to any airport in New York,
are they even talking about anything?
And about talking about a C note, you ever travel them throughways? You better.
Now he's just doing stand-up.
You walk down the interstate.
So that's not a green screen. That's actually the background they use. They would use like grade school picture day backgrounds.
You're gonna pay 25 cents, and you can count on that. Yeah, New York and the Freebirds.
What a promo ending. We need more wrestlers to end promos like that. The Freebirds. Ooh, coming soon. A vignette for a music video.
Welcome to the WNN.
I think he did do the Steiner Math promo. Yeah, I think he needs to hit up all Scott Recksteiner.
On Sunday, October 27th, exclusively on pay-per-view. But right now, the thrust of our story today.
Again, I always loved. They wanted this to be CNN wrestling, but CNN was so concerned about not being biased against or for other Turner-owned properties that they wouldn't even give them the CNN logo to make the Wrestling News Network art, and they had to make a parody of another Turner department's logo.
Setting up these boxes, obviously set out to destroy Sting's wrestling career. Well, we're going to take a moment right now to relive those moments as these mysterious boxes appeared at ringside and the results thereafter.
Wait a second! That's Abdullah the Butcher!
I always loved this angle. This is one of the first wrestling angles I really got to invest in as a kid. So I don't actually know if it was good or bad. I just have so many fond memories of it. When was the last instance of a box gimmick? I can't think of one. That's so weird because as the wrestling saying goes, you always get
Well,
over
the
getting out of the
question remains
box.
unanswered. Who is behind the mysterious appearance of these large boxes?
Also,
at
hell of a
ringside?
tan on
You know one
Gordon
thing,
here.
Somebody has to be paying a lot of money because
Was
Abdul
Miro in a
Butcher and
box?
Cactus Jack
Chris
are mercenaries,
Statlander was
no
in a
question
claw
about that.
machine.
Now let's turn to the
Ah,
Z-Man,
see, so
Tom
that's right.
Sanders. You know, he
Kenya did come out of a
recently applied
box.
for a referee's license and he has achieved
that thing.
goal. And I might just also point out that he suffered some brutality that we're going to be
But hey, you know what?
later
If
on in this
not
program.
using boxes
But the
means we don't get
Z-Man is
hate
a
crimes,
gentleman of eminent
I'm
fair
fine
play.
with it.
He believes in calling it down the middle, but he has some goals now. He wants to make sure that men like Lex Luger
I
and others of
think
his
Gordon
ilk
thinks
do
that the
toe
camera
line
is
when they step
sentient,
inside the square circle
and like
to
he's
compete,
cornered a guy at the
whether
bar.
defending their titles
Let
or
me
not.
tell you about
I
these
have to admire the
boxes
Z-Man
at work.
for his courage in
I'm
going after a referee's license.
sure
The Z-Man
there's
had
somebody
these
sending
comments
him.
about his license.
Introducing people
been
in
about a
big
week
plastic
now.
bubbles.
Luger.
I'm surprised nobody's
world's
done
been
that. Look
talking.
at an indie show, get one of those
Who was
like
it?
big plastic
I know who it was. Curtis
balls
Hughes,
that you put
Harley
yourself
Race.
inside.
Luger, you sent your men after me to keep me down. You kicked me around the locker room. You know, my ribs are still sore.
I'm gonna
You know something?
lower my camera a little
I'm
bit.
signed up to
I don't need that
referee
much
one
headroom
match. And I'm signed up for one reason, for a fair outcome.
for
That's-
fair outcome.
There is going to be a fair outcome to that match. You know, you guys didn't get the job done. You had me down, but I'm not out. I'm here.
Yes, D-Man was a referee, or he's about to apply to
There's
be a
gonna
referee.
fair winner. And when this thing is over, it's all said and done. Harley Race, Lex
Was Ted
Luger,
Irvine in a box? I
and
don't
Curtis
remember
Hughes.
that at all,
I'm coming
Wally.
after you.
Also,
It's gonna
hello,
be payback
Wally.
time. And don't think for 1 minute I'm not going to take it to you. Because listen, for what you've done to me, try to take my living away from me, I'm going to get you.
I'm gonna
I, for
get you.
one,
That's how you know
think
somebody's
that,
mad.
the
When they're, I'm
Z-Man
gonna get
himself
you.
will make a fine referee.
And
He's
then
got
what?
his work
What are you
cut
gonna
out
do
for him.
when you
However,
get me?
Halloween Havoc on Sunday, October 27th. More about that in just a moment. Of course, as you
Yeah,
know,
no, Tom Zink's
the main
mullet here
event
is
that
like
night will be a 2 out of 3 falls match
it-
for the
it's
World
actual, like,
Championship, pitting
person
Lex Luger
hair,
against Ron
whereas that
Simmons.
AWF
Cactus
mullet he
Jack
had
goes up against the world's strongest man,
looked
Bill
like a
Kazmaier.
silk horse's
And,
mane.
you will also be seeing the
Ted Irvine is
eight-man
Chris
steel
Jericho's dad,
cage
yes.
Chamber of Horrors match. More on that in just a moment. In addition, the World Television Championship goes on the line. Stunning Steve Austin defending
never
his
put
title
that together,
against the challenger of
Sean
the
Drox, but it makes
Natural,
sense.
Dustin Rhodes. In a World Tag Team title match, it will be the Enforcers against the Patriots. Van Hammer takes on Michael P.S. Hayes. PN News and Big Josh take on the unknown
Gordon
creatures.
Soley
We'll find
does
out who
not
they
give
are
two
on the
shits
27th. Beautiful Bobby
about this show.
wrestles
Also, I
Terrence
love
Taylor.
that, like,
Johnny
now,
B. Bad faces, Jimmy
if they
Jam
run down
Garvin. And the
anything on a
Z-Man
wrestling
will
TV
face
show and there
World
aren't like
Championship
graphics
Wrestling fan.
flying at your
And nobody
face,
knows who he is or where
people
he
don't
comes from, but
don't
we
notice
will
it.
find out on
Whereas
Sunday,
here,
October 27th.
the hype for Halloween Havoc is just Gordon Soley slurring through, reading the lineup on a piece of paper.
As you know, of course, Paul E. Dangerously and Missy Hyatt are trying to find out more about the Chamber of Horrors matches, and perhaps later on we'll get a report back from them. That's WNN for this week.
That's what did he
Welcome back,
say?
ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Wrestling New York. Thanks for being with us here tonight.
WNBC.
We're Holly Dangerously back with you. Still to come, our main event. Cactus Jack and Abdul the Butcher will take on Bill
The top of
Kazmaier and
Paul's
Flying
head is
Brian.
so
That's still to come
fuzzy.
within the hour. But ladies and gentlemen, we've all heard about Halloween
Sounds
Havoc,
like
as
a
I mentioned
motorcycle.
earlier. What is the Chamber
Wrestling
of
News
Horrors?
Network
Holly
was
Dangerously
supposed to
and Missy Hyatt
be
have been on a
Wrestling
search. And, we're
CNN.
gonna go down
Like
to
originally,
the
Gordon would
We
do
went to
those
the
segments and
Gulf
actually
Series, we found the
cover
Chamber of Horrors,
like
and Missy
WWF
Hyatt
news too.
Wrong.
And then
No,
quickly it
you're
just
wrong.
became like a
Yes, you're being a bad
recap of all the
reputation,
angles
being a
on
blatant
TV.
liar right here in your hometown.
Well, you see, I was at the China Club the other night, and I was hanging out with Morgan Fairchild, who loves me. And I was hanging
Morgan
out...
Fairchild, you and her are very close, aren't you?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Twice?
You know what men do? They whisper
2
sex
dates. I don't
things at
know.
each
I don't
other's
believe in any
ears.
situation. We'll talk more about this Chamber of Horrors that you can see on
I think Paul
pay-per-view.
kept
Will
the
they
phone in
find it
ECW.
Let's see Big Josh in action.
Yeah, partially the Green Boy said Eddie Gilbert loved the phone, but also that was like his recognizable thing. Like he stopped using it like early in '95. There's Big Josh, 1/3 of the World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, apparently giving Doug Dillinger some shit. Cry for losing the other 2 belts. Zan Panzer, what a pervert. Zan pervert.
Of course you were lying. Your
Boom, ba-dum, boom, 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 boom.
I'm sure you're telling her to keep the ring, right?
No.
God, Paul Heyman, yeah, modern Paulie Dangerously with like an iPhone
Can you imagine how much
or like,
money I could
I don't know,
make
like
if I would hop
an
in that ring?
iPad.
Harlow Maples wouldn't give you the time of day, my
But then
boy.
like he'd have to use like a broken iPad because he couldn't afford to replace it after every show.
No time at all for you.
Yes, for those who don't know, Green Boy brought it up in the chat. Big Josh's origin story is that he was Tommy Rich's fishing and hunting pal.
1/3 of the world six-man tag team champions.
Now those jeans cannot get any tighter. How did he wrestle in those? Hey, Viva La Fran.
And he smells
Like, and to think, Zan Panzer looks like way bigger of a pervert than Big Josh, and Big Josh is wearing pervert shorts.
Crocodile Dundee 4 or 5 or whatever it was. Big Josh came to New York not too long ago and was amazed by the living creatures in the gutters.
Like,
those are the people.
I'm talking about varmints, not
just imagine, because like the enhancement guys would have to walk to the ring to silence between matches. Imagine the shame that Zan Panzer must have felt in those like silent moments before they introduced the star, just standing in front of a crowd dressed like that.
Josh tried to sucker punch him. Zan Panzer blocked it and then punched him.
Oh, he ripped a merchandise shirt. That's $20 out of your pay, buddy. Like, at least Big Josh got like music and like supposed to be a star. Zan Panzer's just standing there in silence, wearing that singlet and that mask. Like, yeah, pervert shorts, meaning you shouldn't wear shorts that tight in public. That's like, those are sexy shorts. Those are shorts you'll wear to the swingers club. Big Josh did get a globe. I believe it was like British exclusive or European exclusive. He's not strangling the man, but he's just kind of grabbing him. I guarantee this is on a wrestling fetish YouTube playlist, like Stephen J. Neptune had brought up. Which, by the way, if you are not aware of the wrestling jobber fetish YouTube scene, they might be the best archivists of the 80s and 90s wrestling on YouTube. Seriously. Like, the comments are all like, he held his sweaty body against the jobber while he dominated him. But, like, they have every B and C show match. It's amazing. Rowan Fresh, welcome. Bringing the erotic Eric Fontaine emoji to the chat. The wink as he's sitting on his masked opponent. That's definitely a thumbnail on the wrestling fetish jobber YouTube channels.
Big jerk with a good win over
And don't wink at the camera. It just makes it worse. Oh my god, he almost dropped him in the back of his head.
Sets him up for his face. Look at this. The lock roll. Non-regulation wrestling moves. Why he's allowed to use them, I don't know. Big jerk with a big butt drop and a 1, 2, 3 for the man from the great.
We might do
He named that hold after Paul Lee.
that might be something. I've been looking into YouTube memberships, which if I do that, it'll be like a bonus stream or two a month, and that might be one of them. Where I just like go through fetish YouTube channels.
I understand you ended up in Secaucus, New
There's
Jersey.
I forget who wrote it. There's like an
Well, I wanted to go to Gary Capetto's
intellectual, like, I don't know how to word it. Like
New Jersey,
an actual like news institution wrote an article about jobber
And
fetish
what is the
YouTube
Chamber of
channels
Horrors? What,
a couple years
what's in the
ago.
cage? Maybe we'll find out. Let's take a look.
What are we doing here?
Missy, the Chamber of Horrors is being built right now in this very warehouse.
I'm going to watch the
Where
video.
else would you build a Chamber of Horrors but in New Jersey? Missy,
Seesaw.
right next to a toxic waste dump.
Oh, but you know what? It's
No.
your source
That's too perverted for me.
told us wrong. You're gonna be in
It's
trouble.
not Meltzer, it's my Uncle Moisha the Peeping Tom. And
John
Uncle Moisha
Silver
the Peeping Tom is never
dominates
wrong.
young woman. Thumbnail, her mouth wide open on her knees, standing below him.
Smell.
Right
on.
now.
Come on, Drew.
So,
Yeah, Missy looking very goth here. I like it.
Opening up the door.
Well,
Give me
give me a pair of gloves.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any gloves.
And Drew always denies that it's a fetish thing, but like, yeah, like you said, Cecil, Addie Starr against Chris Dickinson with him like hulking over her and her mouth open by like his crotch and the thumbnails at 1 billion views. Come on, seriously?
Uncle Marsh.
Yeah, is Paulie leading Missy Hyatt to murder? Yeah, Beyond Wrestling. It's for their YouTube channels for perverts.
Nice and clean like a movie set where your boyfriend hangs out. Where is the thing anyway?
Like this feels like the first 3 minutes of like a true crime documentary. He murders her, he doesn't have to pay her. EC'd up.
Anybody want to buy a warehouse in Jersey, huh?
Hmm.
This is Pro Wrestling New York.
I love the ending of that. It's very meta, you know, in a time where wrestling wasn't 100%
A
meta.
little bit later on, you're going to have an opportunity to see what actually happened to Tom Zink. And
Did they kill him? How many people are being led to death on this show?
before Halloween Havoc.
You know, Harley, it's a real shame about Tom Zink.
It's
Z-Man.
a shame
He's fallen on
about
misfortune
Tom.
lately. You know,
It's
he has
Mr.
really good
Hughes.
health
That in
insurance,
Jonathan, that's the
and maybe he gets
WCW
hazardous
World
duties
Heavyweight
for us
title.
because it's turned out to be a very hazardous
Because they had
job
lost
for
the big
him.
gold at this
Obviously, we had
point.
nothing to do with it because it
Ric
doesn't
Flair
matter
had
who
it.
the referee
Idle
is. Doesn't matter
Wild
whether it's
South,
Superman.
2-7. Thank you for the
Because bottom
follow.
line is this.
It's
When
past
Ron Simmons,
future London
Barry
Lightning
Windham
on this
step in the
show.
ring with us,
God,
we'll
imagine
walk
how
in
wibbly wobbly time
I
would
have
be
Mr. Hughes,
if
who is a one-man wrecking machine.
London Lightning,
bent on one
RJ
thing,
City,
one thing
whoever.
only.
Paul Roma? Would Paul Roma be past
Total package
London
Lex
Lightning?
Luger, he speaks for himself. World's heavyweight champion. the most
Mr. Hughes might
extraordinary wrestler
actually
ever
be
stepped through the
asleep
ropes.
during this
When you
promo.
combine that,
For those who
that's
don't know,
one beautiful
Mr. Hughes
combination.
shoot
Now, Ron
narcoleptic.
Simmons, you're getting ready for the match of your life. The opportunity of a lifetime, Ron.
Opportunity
And what do?
of your life.
Your one flaw shines through like it never has before. Your temper gets you in trouble, Ron.
I
You're too
really-
aggressive, but you have to go out and sign a tag match with Barry
I really
Windham
like
right
that belt.
before the match of your life. Not very smart, Ron.
I think it was about a year and a half ago.
When you lose your temper,
It was the first Forbidden Door weekend, I think.
That's what this sport is all about.
Or no, it was All Out weekend. It was a couple. It was
That's a big question mark right now for tag match with Lucius myself.
2022,
If
no, 2023,
you will have that
maybe.
opportunity.
Either way, my son Noli and I were over at
100%, you can't be the top.
hanging out with Marty Rosa and Sarah
Question
Shockey,
mark.
and Marty has a replica of that belt, and my son Noli is pictured holding. It's really cool. The ghost of Bert Prentice. Honey, welcome. God, I really hope that's a shoot. And to think of all the nights that Brian Dermody isn't here. I'm so happy to have the ghost of Bert Prentice here.
Young man just coming to his own. I mentioned before that generally considered that wrestlers are in their prime from the
Sonny
ages of
Trout.
25 to
Okay, Sonny
35,
Trout of
but
these, we've seen him
all the
before,
men that are
aka
either the
Slutty
world
Trout,
champions or claim to be,
one half of the Southern Posse,
I'd love to
years
see a match
after
with
that.
Luger and
He
other men
looks
that
like
claim
he
to be the world
let
champion or are recognized by
a
other
child cut his
organizations.
hair. Oh my god, he almost fell in Dustin's face.
And the sport of wrestling will never allow a winner-take-all match between, say, Hulk Hogan and Lex Luger.
Alright, they shout out Jonathan Mayer, just sent me a tip. You will never flatter me any more than giving me a direct tip. Not that Tom Green on both PayPal and Venmo. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
I don't know if I'd even want to bet against the Pop
Exactly,
WCW
Cecil.
heavyweight
Why?
champion.
And you
Like
can't
every
take away
wrestler
from
wants to
Luger
be like
because he has
Dave
done
Stevens.
so far.
It could
Oh,
be
he's been
Sonny
a lot of great
Trout
people. Remember
Jr.
whenever he dominated your
Like
guys
even the
Dean
guys who
Martin,
like
The
used
Undertaker,
kind of
then he
shoot
was like a redheaded
names
stepchild at the Clash
had
of
better
Champions.
shoot
Wasn't at the
names
Clash of Champions. That's
back in the
erroneous.
day.
It was at the Great American Bash.
Wherever, someplace.
And I was there, and that was my
Yeah,
fault,
Dustin
'cause it was
is
my
like
game plan, 'cause not
4
even
years in, I
could
believe,
formulate a
here.
game plan
3 or 4
and
years
take the
in.
total package, Lex Luger down
And
for a 3 count.
still going
Not
now.
Stan Hansen, not Mean Mark, not Sid Vicious,
Who would have
not
thought Dustin
Ric Flair.
Rhodes would be a double champion in Ring of Honor?
Dusty Rhodes, his kid father, has ever
The
been able
name
to stop the
sounds
momentum
fishy.
of the undisputed heavyweight
see you
champion
there,
of the
Sean
world,
Drox.
the total package, Lex Luger.
Luger's beat a lot of top guys.
Signal no thank you for giving me 2 views, which reminds me, between the 2 platforms combined right now, 432 people are watching an episode of WCW Pro New York from 1991 right now. Holy crap. Thank you all. This is insane.
Didn't mean to make you mad about that redheaded stepchild line, Paul.
Oh, I'm not mad about it at all. I mean,
It's only a figure of speech, you know.
I mean, just because you couldn't hack in any other
Hell
job,
yeah,
like
B.
being
Clark
a
for Dark.
referee or
Yes,
anything, or-
VOD
Well,
YouTube Wednesday mornings. A lot of people have told me that they watch the VODs while they sleep, which makes me their sleep
As many of you
paralysis.
fans know, the Z-Man is the newest referee in World Championship Wrestling. In a recent event, he sustained a minor neck injury at the hands of the world's champion, Lex Luger. But recently, in Z-Man's own locker
How do you
room,
even
he was
stand like
Well, you see, what happened
Paul's
was a bunch of
there?
crazed high school girls from Roosevelt High School in Yonkers came into his locker room trying to get his autograph, trying to get
What
a
are you
date with
basing
him.
that on?
Wait,
My Uncle Moisha, the Peeping Tom, told
Oh,
me.
that's a very reliable source.
so
The
Paul's
videotape will
uncle, the
speak for
Peeping
itself.
Tom,
Take a look at what
has
happened
news
recently to
about high
Z-Man.
school girls in Tom Zink's locker room.
Well, there's Cactus.
The audio is out of sync.
Wait a second. What in the world?
How did Tom Zink become a ref not being able to count to 3?
We need some help in the dressing room area. I'm going to go back there myself, see what's going
I
on.
like this. I like the idea that the cameraman put down the camera. That seems a little more... Paul might have been involved with booking this segment. This feels very early ECW.
Get some help out here.
Oh no, he has appendicitis. His appendix burst.
Get some help.
Cameraman might have been knocked down. I'm looking at me, I'm looking at the show, I'm looking at the chat, so sometimes I miss things.
Now, I
Also,
know
I'm
there's a lot of
dumb,
speculation as to
so...
who perpetrated that act. I say it was Lex Luger's
Oh,
henchman,
now what are you
Mr. Hughes
basing
and
that
Harley
on?
Race.
What are you basing that on?
Well, those black boots certainly look
Those
mysterious.
black
They were the
boots.
ones that,
Like, nobody else in wrestling wears black boots.
Disguise their feet.
I say it was Mr. Hughes and Harley
You're
Race.
innocent until you're proven guilty. Just ask Mike Tyson.
Attacked by a xenomorph.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep you
Big Pop.
updated on this situation, and our main event is still to come.
Alright, main event of the first show. We're watching 3 shows tonight, by the way, folks.
Introducing first, the godfather of World Championship Wrestling, Theodore Argon, Worldly.
Yes, I do as well. Cecil says, I prefer that type of segment over the segments where you aren't sure if the cameraman is real. Yeah, where if you're not supposed to, like, is this part of the canon that there's a cameraman there? We're just talking backstage? Like, it's whatever. Kenny Kendall. Is this the main event of the show? No, it's not, because Cactus Jack and Abdullah still have to wrestle. No, you stick it. Who didn't think Johnny B. Bad was black? Who didn't think Johnny B. Bad was black? BET sure did. On behalf of both myself and Ian Riccaboni, if anybody in the world has some sort of recording of the BET talk show where Johnny B. Bad, aka Mark Merowitz, and PN News, aka Paul New, definitely not a black man, were guests on a BT talk show discussing the plight of the black wrestler. Please send that mine or Ian Riccaboni's way. We are both searching for it. I always loved that. Like, we have to show that he can really punch. So we're gonna have these gloves. They won't believe that he's a real Like, I could punch those. I mean, not as well, but I could punch them. Oh, they're touching tips.
Why not?
By the way, welcome Troy Vang. I'm so sorry to hear that you had to deal with parent-teacher conferences. My wife is a school librarian. She doesn't go through the conferences, but many semesters she gets stuck at school for hours afterwards, doing book fair during parent-teacher conferences.
Colleague Eric Bischoff a little bit later in the program. Still to come, our main event. Thanks for staying up.
Yeah, Teddy Long was really good at matching his do-rag to Johnny B. Bad's career. Always really good about it.
He's gone.
You get your money back, huh?
I don't believe it.
You told me you never bought anything retail.
Johnny B. Bad was a heel here, but quickly becoming a babyface.
Why doesn't he talk into the camera?
The Twitter, yeah, I recommend having Twitter up as like a backup feed if you get Twitch ads. But definitely more fun to watch on Twitch when you can jump in the chat. Kenny Kendall, yeah, he did do WWF jobber work. Also, Kenny Kendall, here's the thing. He did WCW enhancement work for years and years. And then one day in 1995, at a Saturday night taping in Center Stage, he's like, they've never done anything with me. I'm going to do something. And so he decides to like jump Vader at the bell before a squash match, and Vader beats the shit out of him. It's incredible. Yeah, that was him. Yes. Signal no. My Twitch does a weird thing where your screen like goes in the top right corner. I know what you're talking about. It's happened to me when I watched my pal Scotland Green's Pro Wrestling Potluck Thursdays at 9 p.m. Twitch.tv/Mr. Green Miss. Go check him out. I'm normally in the chat along with a lot of other folks in this chat. Did he stick a half-eaten fruit roll-up on his face? Says Jonathan. I always love the color scheme of those mics.
And Teddy Long, let me ask you, depending on where you go, anywhere in the country, it's either cheers or jeers.
I was going to say it's either cheers or home improvement.
Right now to you, Eric, I never heard anything but cheers. It makes me no difference whether they boo, and it makes me no difference whether they cheer. Because one thing for sure, Johnny B. Bad is the fashion plate of World Championship Wrestling, and I'm telling everybody right now.
Cheers or Frazier? Well, Frazier came along a few years after this, I think.
When you see Johnny B. Bad's
couple
name on
years
the
at
marquee, then you better get your tickets early because you're going to see the human orchid.
Hell yeah, B. Clark for Dark. I'm one of those people. An endorsement for the Pro Wrestling Potluck. Great for folks who don't have the capacity to keep current wrestling, especially Joshi. Scotland's really good at finding the hype, the buzzworthy Joshi.
But I'm a bad man. A bad man. Johnny.
Oh, hush.
You hush. Oh, hush, Eric.
I don't want to hush.
Oh, hush, Eric.
What did Eric do? I don't want to hush.
You get to have the last word, and the word right now is, oh, hush. We'll be right back.
Eric Bischoff kind of having fun there. Good on him. All right. This, by the way, this is New York specific. They're running a house show ad for Phoenix, Arizona on a version of WCW Pro that's only airing in New York and New Jersey. Birmingham, Alabama. Who's flying out from Albany? I mean, Philadelphia makes sense. That's close enough. You can drive there. But Birmingham? We have officially broken 500 viewers between both platforms. Again, everybody watching on Twitter, if you want to interact, hop onto the Twitch train. Go give me a follow, maybe shoot me a sub. St. Louis doesn't make sense either.
This Thursday, October 10th,
Why?
the Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City to check out Rick Steiner. Now here's more of Pro Championship
I need to go to Birmingham.
Here we are, the fabulous.
Why are they back? They had nothing to say the first time.
And talking about rock and roll brings to mind one of the greatest songs.
It's like when they call in the bus drivers on school picture day.
But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. But I like to
And he's mouthing,
yeah. Ever classic hit, whoa, mercy, mercy me, Jimmy Jam.
My brother used to wear sunglasses like that.
Ain't what they used to be.
I think I had that catalog. I remember that Hot Stuff logo. All right, here we go. Main event of the first episode. Bill Kazmaier, who just debuted with the company, and they've already had to do one injury angle with him to cover for how shitty he is. Yeah, I love this Brian Pillman song too, Yankee Hawk. This is a great Brian Pillman song. The feature confrontation. Was main event too controversial to say in a Turner department? Nick Patrick's the referee, which means something will be messed up in this match.
And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents. Introducing first from True Third
International Feature Confrontation. There we go. Cactus Jack, proprietor of Cactus Jackets in Atlanta, with Abdullah. The way they put their names together, it looks like one of their names is Abdullah Cactus Jack. Loser goes to a medical facility. They were so much fun together, and it sucks that this team pretty much ends at the beginning of '92. I think they're kind of frenemies going into like February, March, and then it's just done.
Those two men, Cactus Jack and Abdullah, have made their
and that's a good point, Teo Cham. If you're not allowed to do blood, it's supposed to be like a PG family show. Why bring in Abdullah the Butcher?
Bill Kazmaier are here to challenge these two.
I think that is a story from Nick's book, yes, to this effect, that he went around telling everybody in college that his dad was Abdullah the Butcher, which would have been hard. Had the curled, I think Abdullah the Butcher had the curled toed boots first, I believe. I think we've talked about it on here before. Cactus Jack dressed like gender-disposed Peg Bundy.
Head and shoulder spike puts Cactus Jack down.
It was a very dinner time works.
Tag is made.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Bowser Extension. Like, once you notice how bad Nick Patrick is, it's like you can't unsee. He's just like, kind of scratching his crotch there in the background.
As powerful as Bill Kazmaier.
If you have access to the latest Guinness Book of World Records, or you're in a bookstore the next few days,
The way he did that, it kind of looked like he legit forgot that he was supposed to let Mick push his head forward. It's Braun from Game of Thrones.
One illustration is a 661-pound bench press, but those ribs have been down
Again,
now
he's
for about a month.
the injury angle was there so that he could just lay down and sell to cover for how shitty he was, so he wasn't hurting people.
You know, he must be in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the world's smallest
Look at
brain,
all of those
because
empty
an athlete
seats.
with broken ribs can suffer a punctured lung.
And it's not like it's a venue where like you can kind of like, if you make it dark, the seats are black and you don't really notice it. Those are bright blue seats right in front of Hardcam.
Gilman fighting back. Big chop to the chest of Cactus Jack here on Pro Wrestling New York.
And now Cactus Jack. Whoa! Pillman from
They stop short of Abby because they know that if they collide with him, he's not gonna bump off that apron. He's gonna look at you like you're stupid. Also, I always loved how Abby's pants say A. Butcher. Like his first and last name is Abdullah Butcher. Yeah, Kazmaier does kind of look like Ted Arcidi. I agree with you. What the fuck happened to his neck?
The cable from the cameraman. Our cameraman is...
He needs those neon green ropes that Roosh uses.
Gilman's almost out of it. This is a dangerous human being.
Nick Patrick is just letting this happen. And you could say, oh, he's distracted by Bill Kazmaier. No, he's right there. He watched that happen. He watched attempted murder. And, like, I get people rag on AEW refereeing sometimes, but at least, like, Rick Knox will show concern if someone's almost murdered.
over this crowd.
Nick
because
Patrick's
never
like,
before
you okay?
have they seen
Okay, let's
like
continue.
Abdullah the Butcher and Cactus Jack.
We'll remind all of our fans that World Championship Wrestling returns.
Now that story from Mick's book about Abdullah putting the poker chips in his head is insane. If I haven't said it before, that is my all-time favorite ring apron. The blue wrinkled WCW apron here. I am so happy Mattel made a toy version of it. And I'm so sad that my son broke it. Hell yeah, Troy. I also rented the hell out of that Battle Bowl. Because it was one of the few WCW tapes that Pat Allen Video in Roachdale, Indiana actually had. So those are straight up Peg Bundy leggings. Like, how did he not watch an episode of Married with Children and be like, shit, I need to change this? Hell yeah, Abby. See, this is what I love about... Holy shit, he's holding up Abby. I get Abby jumped. But I love about wrestling, unlike any other media or sport, is that us, like, big chubby fellas, our chub can make us just as strong as a Bill Kazmaier with his giant muscles. Oh, see, so I was mentioning Cactus Jack, in this era, dresses just like Peg Bundy. Like, just like gender-disposed Peg Bundy. That was a dope move. The Death Valley driver into the power slam. That was pretty sweet. How much did Mick weigh? I would 260. It looks like he's hitting with a giant piece of black licorice. They built him at 287. Okay, I mean, he probably was close. Abby just makes him look smaller.
Steve Austin with Lady Blossom at ringside. We'll be taking on Lion Brian.
Sassy Paul.
Shock everybody right now. I'm predicting an upset. Next week, right here on Pro Wrestling New York, I think Flying Brian becomes the next TV champion.
Well, this young man is really been hot recently.
Dissenting opinion.
I know
it's
that.
because Pete Rose is betting on him, that's why.
No, he's got a lot of confidence. Let's listen to
Rest in peace, Pete Rose.
Right here next week on WCW Pro, it's Flying Brian.
How did he take a shower so soon after that match?
The World Television Championship. Well, Stunning Steve, get ready.
Like, it looks like he just got out of the shower.
Because this lean, mean flying machine is coming full bore, full throttle.
Full four.
Right over
I'm coming full four for ya.
And take that world title right away from you. Get ready.
Paul, that's going to be a tremendous main event here next week.
Nope. I'm changing my prediction right now. I think Stunning Steve's going to beat him, and I'll tell you why.
All right, let's go. That's right, Pillman was going to be with Sherry in '94. It was one of the ideas thrown around. Get your tracking together. Tape Trader in 1991. They couldn't even get clips of wrestling. They had to get drawings.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling New York. Jim Ross and Paulie Danger with you on this great Saturday night. And as
Mike Myers'
at the beginning of the program, Abdullah the Butcher and Cactus Jack celebrating Sting's birthday.
God, Paul's pony. Yeah, there's no way that thing's real. It can't be.
And a little bit later in the broadcast, our colleague Eric Bischoff will be
I've mentioned it
and to Cactus Jack
before. Hey, Suzanne. I've been kind of binging my way through like early ECW when things get kind of slow at work. Early ECW TV, and there's like a good 2 or 3 month period in '95 where
trying to be the
Paul
world's TV
just
title. First of all, Pete
doesn't
Rose
put his hair in a
is champion.
ponytail,
Secondly,
wets it down
tonight
every
right
time
here,
he's
you're gonna
out,
find out just how
and
stunning Steve
he
Austin can be.
looks
Plus, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the
like
Pro
a
Wrestling
wet
New York
dog.
debut of Axel Rotten, a man here to take
Ooh,
care
Axel
of
Rotten,
news, or
one of
so
his
he says.
few WCW
We'll also hear from
matches.
Gordon Soley in the Wrestling News Network. We're talking about Halloween Havoc, but right now let's go to the ring and beautiful Bobby.
Happy belated birthday, by the way, Casual Villainy.
Introducing first from Huntsville, Alabama.
No longer from the dark side. Hello, Izzy. That is the dopest jacket ever worn by a man with that little charisma. Doug Sommers. Like 2 years before this man was one of the top heels in the AWA, and now he's here looking like Bobby Eaton's grandma. Looks like a sun bear. This is AWA Doug Sommers. He spent a period as a WCW enhancement guy in '91. He was even on Halloween Havoc against Van Hammer. There are people actively looking away from the ring. That's not like now where you have cell phones and like fighting for attention. There's just like dozens of people in the background like just staring off.
Doug Sommers, a real veteran.
Why do the guys at the D shows get pay-per-view time? Because it's WCW. Oh shit. And like in this era, they were booking like 12, 13 matches, and they did not have a roster for that. Oh shit, Doug Sommers. They did not have a roster for that many matches. Like, I think Buddy Lee Parker had like 2 or 3 pay-per-view matches in '91. Oh shit, he almost shoot one. Doug Sommers almost pulled a screw job. Again! Come on, Bobby.
I've heard you say that a few times.
These two look like the last 2 women to leave like a local hole-in-the-wall bar on a Saturday night. I kind of see the Tommy Rich after a meth bender thing goes to Burt Prentice. Also, I kind of see if Sandman wore trunks. Yes, Jonathan.
Oh, this is your show, all right. I'm just happy to be your
The
sidekick.
ref looks like Uncle Pedro.
You're welcome.
Not Uncle Pedro. God, what's his name? Pedro was the friend. There's a giant man in like the 4th or 5th row wearing like an Uncle Rico. Thank you. The giant man in like the 4th or 5th row just staring at the ceiling. Why is Doug so bad here? He sucked during his WCW. He was really fucking bad. Bobby Eaton, that's my favorite. One of my favorite things Bobby Eaton would do when he was a babyface is after squash matches, he'd shake the referee's hand. Like there's like a worldwide match from like '97 where he just like hugged Mark Curtis. Like so happy that he got to win a match. Yeah, Doug Sommers pretty much no sells. Yeah, Alabama Jam there. Yeah, Bobby, I'm Bobby. I'm pissed. That's like the coolest move in wrestling in '91.
You know, Dustin, before I came on the wrestling scene about 8 months ago,
I've seen a movie that starts like
all
this.
The critics had to say about everybody, and the critics said about you, Dustin. They said, Dustin,
The 6-man tag belts look like toy belts.
but he's still a little bit too young yet. And
The 3rd man, was it Ricky Morton, I believe, was the 3rd man on the team? Or Tommy Rich? Tommy Rich.
What it takes to dig down deep into his guts and pull out what it takes to be a
Tucker
real winner.
and Dale versus Evil Bulldog.
And then they really hit on me. They say Big Josh is an idiot. Big Josh doesn't know nothing.
That's a weird way to hit on somebody.
Big Josh can't carry his own belt into the ring. Well, we proved you all wrong.
Well, he has to carry the belt because, like Jonathan said, there's no way they can actually wear those things.
When I come to to the Big Apple. I don't know nothing about the streets of New York. I don't know nothing about the state of New York. But I'm going to tell you something. I want the critics to come out.
I imagine that Big Josh shirt goes for a lot on eBay.
Dustin and myself defend these belts.
I'm surprised like the shirt bootleggers haven't put it out.
Josh, you know all you critics out there that are always complaining about who's doing what, what's doing where, whatever's going on here.
Dustin Rhodes burying the dirt sheets randomly, which, okay, I will say this. Of all of the wrestlers who have ever buried the newsletter writers on TV, Dustin Rhodes has the most reason. Dave Meltzer treated him like a piece of shit in this era because he hated Dusty. Like, he acted like Dustin had no talent. There's no reason why he should be pushed. It's like, no, Dustin's really good, and he's over.
Welcome to the WNN. I'm Gordon Soley, and the
Meltzer hated Dusty because he hated Dusty's booking, the Dusty finishes, and Flair was in his ear about like Dusty killing his career.
October 27th. More information about the Havoc a little bit later on. But one of the things
About the Havoc. More commentators should have called it the Havoc.
Horrors match during Halloween Havoc. But the Steiners have their sights set on something else, something they believe is rightfully theirs. And that, of course, is the World Tag Team Championship, currently held.
I will stand up for Meltzer and the Duck Food Dog thing I saw Mr. Fujiwara bring up.
And they are former champions.
He has told the story that like JYD knew about it and thought it was funny. The reason why I called him Junk Food Dog is because they were both staying in the same hotel the night before a pay-per-view. And everybody else is asleep, and JYD's at a vending machine just getting everything out of it. And I guess, like, Meltzer walks up to, like, get ice or whatever, and they lock eyes, and JYD goes, "You're gonna print that, aren't you?" Oh, you.
The only thing you need to force is number way them bubble butts away from the dinner table.
I would love to be out of shape like Arn Anderson.
And number two, I would strongly suggest forcing some hair out of
Yeah, I'm sure Warrior didn't like his nickname. Yeah, I agree with you, LJH.
They want to challenge the enforcers for the World Tag Team.
This is like the two types of dads in 1991 feuding. You have like the real conservative, like baseball coach dads, and you have like the deadbeat loser, never grew up out of high school dads. Like show up to like one in every 4 baseball games.
About that. But look for the return of Scott Steiner. That I find very, very exciting news. Now, of course, as you know, they will be in the Chamber of Horrors steel cage match. And this is a match that has everybody buffaloed, including me.
Everybody buffaloed?
Exactly
or baffled? I hope it's baffled.
Chamber of Horrors. The object, of course, is to get out before the time limit or suffer the consequences.
Or suffer the...
As you well know, of course,
they have no idea what the rules are going to be for this match. Yes, so I did a short about it a couple weeks ago. The original idea for the Chamber of Horrors was they were going to build a maze of mirrors, and the wrestlers would have to fight through it. And whichever team got all the way through first would win. And then they realized, how are we going to fit a maze of mirrors?
It's not Beverly Hills or anything.
Are you sure it's safe to be here?
Of course.
Thank you, Yankee Hawk. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
My Indiana Jones look.
Indiana Jones. Paul should bust that out when he returns with Roman.
The Chamber of Horrors is being
Okay, thank you, PJ. I didn't know that. To Buffalo, someone can be to confuse or devise.
That's right. And when we get done, after we find it and see it,
My Indiana Jones look. Yeah, I miss Goth Missy. Goth Missy was a lot more fun. So the Chamber of Horrors, the maze wasn't supposed to explode. Like it was just a maze. The exploding and the electrocuting only got added like in the last week or two, I guess.
Well, I don't see any Chamber of Horrors, Missy.
Seriously, are they trying to get Missy murdered?
What's that?
What?
Also, where the hell did they find these places?
I'm gonna find it.
I mean, they probably shot these in Georgia. I'm sure there's... Why is Paul? I thought Paul was just taking his clothes off.
I love Los Angeles.
Why isn't he wearing a shirt? Well, they're saying it's Los Angeles. So. Okay, good point, Teo. I have been to New Jersey, yes.
Well,
I don't like how that ended.
our cub reporters another
Paul
opportunity
traps
to
Missy in a
find out
dark
more about
room
the steel cage
with his
chamber
shirt
horse.
wide open.
As you
I
know,
don't
of
like
course,
that.
it is Halloween Havoc 91
Bad vibes.
upcoming Sunday, October 27th, exclusively on pay-per-view. May I suggest you
By the way, those two had just worked a feud. Like, they ended up in matches a couple of months before this.
1 hour time limit. Lex Luger defending that title against the challenge of 3-time All-American.
That would be amazing, Animal. They get the spin again. Spin again.
You'll see
Skip your turn.
defend his television title against the
Holly soon found out the Wolfman's got no
Z-Man faces the
Oh,
unknown
gosh.
quantity and quality of the WCW Phantom. Who is he? Where is he from? Nobody seems
The quality and the quantity of the Phantom? There's supposed to be more than one?
Order now. Halloween
Yeah, Gordon definitely looks like he's been having some fun in the wine cellar.
Thanks for being with us here tonight. Paul, I'm a little bit concerned about this Chamber of Horror steel cage match at Halloween Havoc, the exclusive pay-per-view on October 27th. I know you and Missy are diligently looking for the site of its construction, but what's the story? Secaucus didn't work?
Jim Ross ever thought about running for
It was
office?
in Secaucus, New Jersey, but they moved it out to East Los Angeles. What I'm trying to find out is, why is this thing such a big mystery?
Why would the Chamber of Horrors be in L.A.? Why did Dusty go with Ron Simmons at Halloween Havoc 91, says Animal? I think it's Dusty just didn't trust Ron Simmons to cut, like, the money promos, which granted Dusty didn't really either, but
Oh, well, it is, because, see, here's what happened. WCW was going over to Great Britain, but Axel Rotten decided to beat us to the punch. He's coming here to eliminate PN News.
PN News has eliminated the one-man
so
gang, but now
this,
let's go to the ring.
if you remember Off the Grid from a couple of weeks ago, this is about 10 months after those shows we watched with all of Axel's students. That's Axel Rotten.
235 pounds.
PN News is still alive. Like, I think he just did like a podcast last year where like he denied that Rick Roos like slapped the shit out of him for stealing out of the guys' bags.
Yo, it's a PN News flash. Everybody knows they've been
A
talking
PN
about
News
that ring
flash.
one-man gang.
How did he not get over? What do you mean he
Now
was
we
over?
got somebody running their mouth off. Axel Rotten. Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be AXL, but it's WCW. They never spelled guys' names correctly on the Chirons.
PN News looking forward to the matchup with
You just like need him in the kidney. Not even trying to do an avalanche.
So he's gonna give away about 100 pounds to PN News, who seems to be growing every day.
Well, if it was a wrap-off,
Again, I love how girth is power in wrestling, and saying that someone's getting fatter every day is a compliment.
Lying headbutt.
How about that, baby? It's supposed to be from England. Not there sounding like he working Bill Dundee at the Mid-South Coliseum. Yeah, Axel Rotten from Baltimore, United Kingdom. He tried to do an accent until like 1994. How about that? That's his only thing. That's his. How about that? How about that? Hey.
Workout video on Ron
I
Simmons.
don't think anybody thought about putting together Axel and Brian Knobbs. I think that'd be too much of a good thing, you know? Yes, LJH just brought it up. The touring WCW house show at this point was headlined by Lex Luger and Tom Zink.
Why you wouldn't take that assignment? I mean, you know, why did you have to feed the rookie to the shark?
I don't look at it that way.
Yeah, so Axel Rotten and PN News feuded because they each did a flying splash. Not even both a top rope splash, but like Axel did his off the second rope. And he's like, oh, mine's better. PN News does his off the top rope. What's a better work, Axel's accent or Ian being Lawler's kid? Lawler fucked everywhere. I'm more likely to believe that than the Axels from frickin' London. Yeah, it's supposed to be punk rock versus rap, but since they're big guys, they gotta add the splash element to it. But Axel didn't last very long. I did a short about that. He got heat for spitting on old Joey Maggs. Top 10. Beautiful Bobby. Bobby Eaton didn't have a last name for like a year. It was really weird. I love the top 10. I would do my own top 10s when I was a kid. How sad and lonely I was. Cactus Jack 285. Dustin Rhodes at number 6.
The world television champion, stunning Steve Austin. 7'7" Elegante is at number 4. The number 3 man for the second week in a row.
It's incredible that Elegante was only 4'55", as tall as he was.
And of course, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the total package, Lex Luger, and that's a look.
Yeah, Elegante, he hadn't really done a whole lot.
Halloween Havoc
That is a little
pay-per-view
high.
exclusive coming your way on Sunday, October the 27th.
Why is Paul like posing like he's trying to like take a still picture?
Featuring Lex Luger, the world's heavyweight champion, putting the title on the line against Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons has returned to the site of his greatest accomplishments, Florida State University, to train.
Well, you see, not a lot of people can go to a nice college like Princeton, so he went to an okay college like FSU and did okay in football.
Let's take a look
Did
at
okay
Ron
in
Simmons
football.
in training.
But okay.
What a better place for me to come and prepare myself than
Yeah, this is how they built up Ron for his big world title match. They sent him back to college.
I was consensus All-American. When I come down here with the desire and determination that I wanted to be the best I could, and I was. So I wanted to come here and recapture some of that. And here I am.
That was weird,
Cecil.
Cecil.
That I've got.
Yeah, everybody was 2000. Yeah, the early 2010s when everybody was 6'2". No, you aren't. You're like 5'9". I peed next to you at an ROH show. You're 5'9". So Ciampa. Oh yeah, Jim Ross is probably off frame during all of these. I'm never doing that again, by the way. I just realized how bad that looked. They didn't just play this segment for weeks. They played this again the next year when Ron won the title.
The things I used to tell you when you're here, don't worry about winning it. You just go out.
Yeah, Ron Simmons was a legitimately great college football player. Legit Heisman candidate. Like Xander brought up, the first player to ever get his number retired at FSU.
But I want you to know this. When y'all get locked up and it's pretty tight, and you think he might be about to turn you, just don't forget the old coach.
But yeah, like Suzanne almost said, they said he was too short for the NFL. Otherwise, he would have made it. Yeah, he was 9th for the Heisman. That's like really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger for the WCW
Like, is he supposed to be imagining Gary Michael Capetta?
weighing 278 pounds, the All-American, Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons certainly looks determined.
It's
very
just
focused,
with
and
90
in
pounds.
magnificent
Come on.
condition for this showdown. 2 out of 3 falls at Halloween Havoc.
Can't do
against
mine
the man
with
we're about
20.
to see, the total package Lex Luger. We're going to take a look, Paul, at Lex Luger in action, and then some comments that he made a few weeks ago with Tony Schiavone.
It feels like Lex Luger did a lot of squash matches as world champion. Like Flair did some, but I feel like Lex did a lot of them. Like Sting never really did.
The following contest, it is set for 1 fall. Introducing first.
And somehow at the end of the year, they ran out of dates on Lex Luger's contract. And that's why he had to go home for like 2 months. Yeah, Ron is in the College Football Hall of Fame. This theme rules. Great, a perfect song for Lex. Another song where you picture the guy shredding on the guitar. You picture Lex on the axe. Harley's suit here is great. Wait, Gary Michael Capetta didn't say Terry Bronson, did he? But he said like Ray Wilson.
Lex Luger, 6 feet 5, 292. He's challenged all the
See, Green Boy, when you said Lex didn't really need Race, I forgot about Harley Race at first. I'm like, he's white, but yeah, he didn't really need Harley Race. Lex Luger versus Terry Bronson in an eliminator match. Yes. Yes.
Lex Luger is in, and I'll tell you this. I was hanging out at the China Club Monday night, and LT Lawrence
Give Bronson the Mario Mushroom of Johnny Ace. Oh gosh.
Was not snapping Joe Theismann in half, was not winning the Super Bowl, but was by associating himself.
Isn't it crazy that these two were on TV doing the same job? They were both wrestlers.
Hulk Hogan there too. Did he say anything about accepting this challenge?
Said absolutely nothing about Lex Luger.
Holy shit, dude. I don't know if y'all heard that.
As if he didn't want to acknowledge that this man even exists.
Well, he exists.
They just straight up made up their own storyline about Hulk Hogan being scared of Lex Luger.
Be a great match for all of our
Wow. That was something.
He's a specimen, isn't he? He's young.
Yeah, Luger's finish was the pile driver here. Frick Matt, thank you so much for the follow. It was called the Attitude Adjustment. The original AA. Yeah, JR would get kind of sassy at times. Paul around this time, I remember there was an episode of like the National Syndicated Pro where Paul did a Ric Flair impression right after Flair showed up on WWF TV. This version only aired on WWOR. Yes. Look at Tony's sun-kissed blonde hair. All right, LJH, have a good night. Glad to have you here. See you soon.
What's been happening in World Championship Wrestling is only the beginning.
Every pattern. He's wearing every pattern from Joanne's.
Man in the world of professional wrestling today. I don't care where it is, anywhere on the face
Lex
of
is
this
like,
earth.
shut up, I would like to talk. Why is this old man talking? I would like to talk now.
Ever stepped in a ring anywhere around the
And then you have Mr. Hughes in the background snoring.
What we just saw was really pathetic. I despise it. They send me garbage. They get carried out like garbage. But it was.
I did drop a Joe in Fabrics reference.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes did have narcolepsy. Like, there are many stories of him falling asleep in the ring.
National TV and every other wrestler, there are no flaws. This is perfection. There are no weaknesses. That was a demonstration.
Luger always talked like his mouth was about half a second ahead of his brain. Not the other way around. Like, some people, like, I know I have that problem sometimes where my brain's way faster than my mouth. But, like, his mouth is way faster than his brain. But he is a fairly decent promo, just like Alex said in the chat. Just sometimes he has an issue where he just stalls because he doesn't know where he's going.
Well, that's not a very smart thing to do, Ron Simmons. That's a very stupid thing to do. But that's your weakness, you see, because you got the physical quality.
All right, correction from Yankee Hawk. WCW Pro New York aired on WPIX. Thank you. I'm from Indiana. I don't know the station.
And your mistake, Ron Simmons, is signing a tag match.
The thumb and the finger, yeah, that's the Lex Luger staple. Babyface or heel, he's gonna point at you like this.
He's bet on nothing but destruction. He does whatever we tell him.
Yeah, Luger left after Super Brawl that year. He was already all gassed up for the WBF. He got up to like 300 pounds of muscle. Looking ridiculous. He was so big that WCW sent out a press release apologizing for putting such a steroided out wrestler on TV. When they were like,
I just don't know
what is this?
I mean, first I had to buy one action figure by Galoob, and then I had to buy another one. And pretty soon I had the whole collection, and I was waiting for the new series to come out. And
This is clever.
my days,
I enjoy this.
And it occupied my afternoons, and it occupied my nights. So I finally called up my uncle, my friend Joe, and I said, Joe.
Uncle Moisha's getting more TV time than half the roster.
I mean, there's so much fun, and then you play with them, and well, anyway, so I just don't know what to do. And do you?
Like,
I mean, how could you help?
I imagine even back then there were a lot of adults buying these figures, and you're shaming them. Yeah, I had Steiners, I had Sting, I had Luger, Flair, Anderson, Wyndham, and Vicious. Sweet shirt on Brian Pillman. Stephen J. Neptune Man with This Week in Sports History. October the 12th, 1991, the Braves beat the Pirates 10-3 to take a 2-1 lead in the National League Championship Series. The Twins beat the Blue Jays 9-3 to take a 3-1 lead in the American League Championship Series. And the number one song in America was Emotions by Mariah Carey. And thank you so much, Stephen J. Neptune Man, our factoid master. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jonathan. That was right up your alley, bud. I love the Stunning Steve song. It is... The audio is such shitty quality.
World Television Championship.
Like, this looks like they heard it on an old black and white movie. Couldn't find like a cassette and just like held a microphone up to the reel that they found it, the movie that they found it on.
She watches a lot of hours of videotape of WCW stars and helping Stunning Steve
Yes.
compile game
5 years later, Brian Pillman would try to shoot this man on television.
Some of his greatest accomplishments have come with
Bowser extension. This because Sid wore a singlet for a while.
You're gonna hear the impact of that.
Gary Michael Capetter trying to sell the action at ringside. That kid has a sweet neon Nickelodeon shirt.
I mean, if you were in the ring and you looked down and you saw a babe like that standing by your side, you would know you have to be a real man to keep her. I mean, just like Marla Maples. You know,
Cecil. On this day in Cecil Nick's history, in 2017, he wrestled a guy who was later arrested for child porn. Congrats to you.
By Flying Bryant. And Stunning Steve backs the challenger into the corner. And buries that knee into the ribs there. Follows it with a right hand. Austin set to defend the television championship if he's still the champion at Halloween Havoc on October 27th. And Flying Bryant will definitely be wrestling for the very first WCW light heavyweight title.
Like, there are people literally falling asleep in the crowd over there. Look at Steve. He had hops back when he had knees. She is Chris Adams' ex-wife, who left Chris for Steve. Oh shit! What did? Oh, it was a shoe.
The spike heel of that shoe right into the back of the head of Flying Bryant.
Yeah, that was a WCW staple more than most TV shows at the time, with the streaking arena light squiggles you mentioned, Refs Wizards. That happened all the time on WCW shows.
What an ugly guy.
Oh.
Elbow there by Stunning Steve. You know, Donald Trump
It
and
is.
Lex Luger have a lot in common.
Why?
They both
What?
got a lot of money. They're both very successful, but they're both very, very pompous, in my estimation.
That's a comparison that ages very badly.
But in my opinion, they're jerks.
Yeah, Nick Patrick is the referee, and God, he sucks.
And Pillman caught him right in the face. Pillman got the better of the situation indeed. High elevation. And the
Look at him.
television championship in jeopardy here.
The comparison, he was comparing Lex Luger to Donald Trump. The rich and pompous.
Austin. He's unable to
Like, Nick Patrick just straight up let attempted murder happen in the main event of the last show.
This has been, and Stunning Steve needs to take it to Flying Brian.
Trying to go for the crucifix.
Oh.
He's got him
Still kind of landed in like a Samoan drop.
able to kick out at 2.5.
He was a half second away from losing the title.
Crossbody. Austin rolls
Oh,
him
gotta,
up.
just, that he's grabbing him by the balls. That's way too low to be the waistband. He just grabbed a nutsack.
Drop kick by Pillman.
Stunning Steve's in very big trouble here.
James Trunks have Trapper Keeper vibes. Lisa Frank spandex. Oh god, yeah. Over the top rope disqualifications. Ugh.
To save the title, perhaps.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match as a result of a disqualification, Flying
Brian was building the momentum.
Retains his world television.
But he was dumped over the top rope, and that's an automatic disqualification.
Like, they would off and on use that rule, like, depending on whether or not, like, it fit the finish they wanted to do, until, like, 97 almost. Like, they did that finish on Nitro a couple of times.
Lessons from this broad wham right to the back of the head, and then Stunning Steve saving the title by dumping Flying Brian over the top rope. Flying Brian has a chance at a title at Halloween Havoc.
That's such a nothing spot, too.
Jim Ross and Paulie dangerously back with your fans on Pro Wrestling New York in just a few
Yeah,
moments.
the WCW TV belt is an all-time great. I'm with you, Yankee Hawk.
Cactus Jack and Abdul the Butcher. But Paul had that misfortune recently on World Championship Wrestling.
You see, Cactus Jack and Abdullah the Butcher are not.
How many headaches must Paul have had with that ponytail so heavy, tied behind his head?
Let's go back to World Championship
So
Wrestling
tight.
before we hear from Eric Bischoff.
All right, I am joined now by none other than Cactus Jack and Abdullah the Butcher. Guys, I gotta say,
Spackled the grooves in Abdullah's forehead with frosting. I love it, refs as well.
Sting. I'm finding
Oh, and Abe, thank you so much for the sub.
We give you gifts. You're not
Very
there.
much appreciated.
We throw
Put
you
that
parties
sub in my syringe.
You do not show. Is there a problem, Sting?
Again, if you're watching on Twitter, which I see a lot of you are, you're going to have so much more fun over here on Twitch.
The screams of Stingers around the world, echoing off buildings around the country. We've heard your screams, Sting. We've heard
If you're
your
watching on Twitter and want to get involved in the chat, twitch.tv/NotThatTomGreen. Come over here now.
sound that we really need to hear. And that's when I cup my ears. When I cup my ears and I hear the boo, hoo, hoo of little Stingers.
I would love if fans said boo hoo hoo
Stingers
at heels.
That's what makes me smile.
What is Abdullah staring at? God, that man's terrifying. And he still does that shit.
Going down in a blaze of glory. Bang, 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 bang.
What a good, random fireball.
Let's go now to Gary Michael Capetta.
We've just switched buildings altogether now. I love this hallway. This hallway is the center stage hallway is one of my favorite entrances ever. Of both Young Pistols.
Cactus Jack. We're going to show you this match, ladies and gentlemen, featuring the Young Pistols here on Pro Wrestling New York.
Dun, 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 dun,
We'll have more
dun.
about Halloween Havoc.
Zan Panzer, Doug Sommers. Didn't we just watch him wrestle?
December 27th event in the Meadowlands.
Isn't this the second Doug Sommers match on the same show?
You people in the tri-state area, New York, New
Look
Jersey,
at Tommy Rich, kind of looking sexy there.
we're in a happening city, place where people are elegant, classy, which is what
WCW,
we
everybody. Shout out Chris
and
Zellner.
Mr. Thomas Rich would like to tell you a little more about the York Foundation.
And we're a little more so elegant.
What does she mean, you
Yankees are up there in
people?
New York in that area. You know, there's a lot of things happening, and I'm looking.
Yeah, Terry
forward to
Taylor
coming
really
to one
committed
racer.
to
You
the
know, I
York
don't like to
Foundation
hug and
gimmick.
kiss babies, and I don't
Tommy
like
Rich
that.
just slicked his hair back.
Dustin Rhodes,
That is
Big
Terry
Josh,
Reynolds, yes.
and Z-Man.
They have the 6-man world heavyweight titles. So
Well, the Z-Man was the third guy in the 6-man tag team.
Wherever it's in, y'all better be ready, because we're coming after y'all.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with the York Foundation for once. That is not happening up in New York. I've been there. They want to be more like us. I guess that's why New York was named after the York Foundation. We
New
know
York?
what's happening in World Championship Wrestling, and a lot of people don't like that. Maybe you're some of them, and I guess it's just too bad. Because there's nothing you can do about it.
Tommy Rich and Ricky Morton
What makes us stronger?
just, like, put some grease in their hair, slick
We
it back.
can't lose a match because we know what our
We're
opponents
corporate
do,
now.
and they know what they're going to do. They have habits in their head. This right here gives us the edge every time we
Wear a
step in the ring.
tie.
So as long as Miss York has those little fingers on that computer, as long as we
That's
have the
creepy.
tools,
As long as she has her little fingers on the computer.
have been, as you've seen on this television. So keep it up. Keep copying us, because maybe you'll get elegant like the York Foundation.
Keep copy. Okay, I was going to say, did we forget about the match that's in the ring? It's wild that they used to just air clips of the match coming up and be like, yeah, this is all pre-taped bullshit.
All right, everyone. The referee has completed his instructions to both teams.
Holy shit, 750 people between Twitter and Twitch currently watching WCW Deep Cuts Live. Holy fuck. Thank you all so much. And if you're on Twitter, come over to Twitch. We're having a lot of fun in the chat.
LT, premier outside linebacker still in the National Football League. Good drop kick by Steve Armstrong.
Big old backdrop by old Stevie Armstrong.
Pistol certainly would like the opportunity to
Zan Panzer, again, cannot get over that they sent him out there dressed like that. And it's the length of the singlet also is really weird. They always, guys that wear like the singlets that go down to your knees always kind of look awkward anyway.
We're fixing to wrestle. We don't appreciate, if they're going to come to New York, New Jersey, speak the language.
Tracy just like suplexed him by the balls.
Near fall situation.
Remember the last guy who did that?
Instead of saying, and now here's a song by Mariah Carey, you can't understand what he's saying. Hey, man, there's some Mariah Carey music for you, huh?
Exactly, Jonathan. And there you go. Check off the on the bingo card. We got an Armstrong.
Going another near fall, but Zan Panzer in the ropes this time.
These guys fly through the
Hey, Rough Rider. Yeah, we've watched the WCW Glow feuds on here before.
Big trade there. Pat Riley's going to make a big
Mike Adkins appears to not be of the sorts. Hanging out with Gordon Soley before the show.
If I had as much hair as he did, I certainly would.
How green it's Al Magenta. I love that, Bowser.
You and Si had a few words before we went on the air.
Well, his kid just got
So Tracy and Steve are wearing like the same trunks, but flip-flopped. Very wacky.
And what was the forecast on that? Clear to partly cloudy? Or clear to partly hairy? I don't know.
See, Ghost of Burt Prentice, you capitalized the garden there. So for a second, I was thinking your mom, like, worked Madison Square Garden. I'm like, wait, got a celebrity in the house? Oh. Did they ask the caremaker how many shades of skin tone? God, so many. Doug Sommers looks like he had been hanging out on his couch, and they called him like, hey, we have an actual 2-on-2 fight that you need to be in now. Like, he's so off his sorts.
Sommers with a knee to the back. We certainly want to encourage all of you, if you have the opportunity, to call your local cable company.
Considering Zan Panzer was like the son of a wrestler, and he was around for years, he had some of the shittiest forearms. Doug Sommers is like, I ain't selling for you. Fuck that. I'm the star here, buddy. I was bleeding in a casino with the Rockers. Where the hell did Doug Sommers go? They did the double whip spot, and Doug's like, nope, I'm going to throw myself out of the ring instead.
And Zan Panzer is in big trouble here.
He's waist-locked. Here's a high-risk move. Watch him stretch that drop kick
Oh,
right off the top.
always loved that. The elevated drop kick that they would do. There we go. And Doug Sommers just like, nope, I'm not in with this. And the thing is, he was around for a month after this. It's not like he had a couple really shitty matches and then they stopped booking him. No, he got booked on a pay-per-view.
Wham! Right into the heart. Down goes Zan Panzer, an easy pin and a victory. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Southern Boys Midnight's Great American Bash 90 matches. One of the best tag matches in WCW history.
We certainly hope you've enjoyed this hour of Pro Wrestling New York, fans. And next
I would last maybe 2 minutes if I was touched like Paulie's doing the phone. Oh shit, main event next week, which we will be seeing here in just a moment. Bill Kazmaier and Cactus Jack.
Well, you see, Fishy, I'll tell you what, hey, Bill Kazmaier might be with the Fishes after this match because he's in with the craziest man in World Championship Wrestling, Cactus Jack.
Here are comments from both athletes.
I love how Paul's, even when he's not doing the New York voice, he's putting a little more New York in his
That's beating people up.
tone.
I might pick up a big dumbbell like you, lift you higher and higher and higher, and then just drop you.
He can only relate to picking up things and putting them down. Also, Mick's hair here is very light. Him and Tony Schiavone go to the same salon.
Matchup here next week on Pro Wrestling New York. The strongest man in the world with a legitimate 661
A legitimate 600. How much is his workbench? Huh, JR?
Yeah, but here's the thing. When Cactus Jack lays on top of you, Bill Kazmaier, you can't just bench press him off because he's not going to be...
Holy shit, 806 viewers right now. Holy shit.
This is going to be a prelude to Halloween Havoc for Paul E. Dangerously. I'm Jim Ross. We'll see you next Saturday night on Pro Wrestling New York.
Taking a picture for prosperity's sake, in case nobody believes me. Oh, no, we're not restarting this one. Before we go to the third episode, let's check out what we're watching next Tuesday when I'm back for WCW Deep Cuts Live on Twitch and Twitter.
It's called the Riot Patrol. Yeah, EPB, all points bulletin, missing in action, doesn't really matter because tough times don't last, tough people do. You got it, man.
So that's next week. Let me turn that down a little bit. Starting hot with PN News. That's next Tuesday at 9. Yeah, if any of the 800 plus people watching right now want to leave me a tip, PayPal and Venmo, both. My name is not that Tom Green on there. Thank you, Jonathan, for mentioning that in the chat as well.
Now the news is you, PN, and you and I got to do it in the ring.
What was that noise he made?
Interesting comments from Mr.
Yeah, that was Axel Rotten's British accent.
Continuing his offensive dominance in this contest. 403.5 pounds. And a quite
John Faulkner is the opponent, the least perverted enhancement guy we've seen today.
He certainly is challenging the seams in his spandex. And here comes the Rap Master.
That was not nice, Jim Ross.
Whatever you call it, you must call it devastating, because it certainly is.
Here's your opener, the Rap Master, PN News.
When the shoulders go down, 1, 2, 3, the ones left standing are my posse and me. Yo,
Baby, yo, baby, yo. PN News in ECW as a heel was fun. Well, he was in there for a couple of months. He was a baldy after he passed his tryout where Spike Dudley beat him. He was News with a Z. So that's how you knew he was the thug. All right, new top 10. Let's see if we've had any movement. Terrence Taylor. It's Vera Beach, not Vero Beach.
Johnny B. Bad from Macon, Georgia. The Diamond Stud moves
Yeah, he was one of the Baldies before Vic Grimes debuted during the Vito era. El Elegante dropped 2 spots. Deserve it. He didn't do jack shit.
Checking in at number 4, the World Television
Checking in at number 4.
The number 3 man once again this week from Sweetwater, Texas, Barry Windham. The All-American Ron Simmons. In at
All-American Ron
the
Simmons.
number 1 ranked contender, the U.S. Heavyweight Champion Sting. Of course, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion is the total package Lex Luger. And that's a look
Yeah,
at
I don't
this
look
week's
like that
top
when I
10
do that.
rankings.
Do you guys have a point to the promo this week?
It's time for a Freebird update. And you know we've been getting a
Why
lot
do
of
we
cards
need
and
one?
letters, and people want to know, hey, boys, what's it like being a fabulous Freebird?
No, they don't have a point to this promo. Why are we giving them so much TV time
But we know one thing. It's
when
a
they're
lot
not
of
actually
fun.
promoting
And the
anything?
next day when we get up, we hear all kind of good stories. And at night when we go wrestle, we have to deal with some real low individuals. And you know who I'm talking about? That Larry Zbyszko and all themselves the enforcers.
Well,
Huh?
I went to this show in Danbury, Connecticut, mid-match. My opponent just whispered to me, I think Vic Grimes is watching us.
Come to mind that you need a force. Numero uno is your big bubble butts away from the supper table. And number 2, if at all possible, try to force some hair out of that head. Because the next
Wasn't Hayes might have been? There were like 96 people in the WCW booking committee at this point. He might have been one. I don't remember specifically. Yeah, that's a gray-ass mustache on Jimmy Garvin. Wow, didn't even notice that. Also, there's so much shit just attached to Michael Hayes' jacket.
I suggest you show up over there at the Bird Center in the Meadowlands.
Get it? Tri-state reference. WCW really put an emphasis on getting the dish owners to buy the pay-per-view. Holy shit, it was Tony DeVito. That's even better. His partner.
We've shown you incidences regarding these strange large boxes that
Every week, it seems like Gordon Soley looks more and more like he has been prepared for his own funeral. Like, my dad looked like that in the casket at his showing.
Bill Kazmaier. As you know, of course, every professional athlete wants to be the very best in his chosen field. Obviously, Bill Kazmaier wants to become the World Heavyweight Wrestling
Vodka will do it.
Currently, he would have to go through Lex Luger to win
Like, they just
that
keep
title. However,
caking more and more makeup on him
during Halloween Havoc on October 27th.
to cover for everything that Liquor's doing to him. Also, I thought that was the Heinz ketchup logo on his tie.
Watch him when he puts this bear hug
That
on
design. Here's that match we saw 2 weeks ago.
And Big Bill Kazmaier to wrestle later in this hour on Pro Wrestling New York.
You think Colette Foley is ever like Mick? The cheetah print stays on in bed? Little grapefruit boxes, grape juice boxes. God, that's, again, even with Abby's help, being able to lift a guy that, like, hold up a guy that big when you can't get your hands around him,
Halloween Havoc is just 1 week away. You still have time to order.
or it has to be like all thighs.
And place your order for Halloween Havoc Sunday, October
Cheetah print
27th.
Sacco.
Ron Simmons going up
Oh, hey, at
against
least we
Lex
have
Luger. 2 out of
text
3 falls. The World
while he's
Heavyweight
reading this
Championship
week.
goes on the line. The World Tag Team Championship
This
is
match
on the
did
line.
happen.
The
Yes,
Enforcers
Enforcers the
against
Patriots.
It'll be Dustin Rhodes, the Natural, against Stunning
Looking
Steve
out for
Austin.
misspellings.
The World Television Championship and the Z-Man.
Z-Man versus the WCW Phantom. So he's a Phantom, a legitimate Phantom, with WCW part a little fishy.
Also, of course, the Chamber of Horror steel cage.
All right, so this match mostly happened this way. Let's see. Vader was in there instead of Barry Windham.
another excursion for us this week.
God, who replaced Oz?
Missy,
Forget.
if the Chamber of Horrors is not being built in this warehouse, World Championship Wrestling will never allocate the funds for us to go on another trip again.
Well, I hope Jim Ross is right. We've been to New
It's a little fun joke about how Paul allegedly used to misuse WCW travel funds. Paul's hair kind of looks beautiful, all brushed out like that.
The Chamber of Horrors, the biggest, the baddest, the meanest, the bloodiest type of cage match ever designed in World Championship Wrestling.
I think Abdullah was the only one who bled.
Ross is right. It's here, and I can. All right, nobody move. Nobody move. This is the Reliving. Come on, hurry. She has a lot of money.
Hey, it's Dick Slater, the mugger in a WCW vignette.
Remember now, it's Halloween Havoc 91.
Welcome back from your shower, Judas Effect.
That's Sunday, October 27th. So call your cable operator now and place your order. The World Heavyweight Championship goes on the line.
Go to 3 Falls, Lex Luger and Ron Simmons.
Lex Luger, 2 out of 3 falls.
That
And
happened.
we'll see the Chamber of Horrors match. And of course,
Yeah, it is.
will
It is
find out, hopefully,
impressive that they didn't put the
who
I
is
before the E in
the
Steiner,
WCW
knowing
The
WCW.
only way you'll know for sure is to call and place your order now,
Phantom.
exclusively on pay-per-view. Halloween Havoc 91, upcoming Sunday, October 27th. That's WNN for this week.
You have a little wink and a point. Gary Michael Capetta looking like a little pageant boy. More Zan Panzer, my God. Love this team. Dustin Rhodes with his fake 8-ball jacket. Barry Windham. He did call it a tag team event. That was a Gary Michael Capetta thing. They were never matches, they were events. The next event is for one fall. Featured confrontation, the event. Mike Fever looks like Zan Panzer's mom.
Welcome back, everyone, to Pro Wrestling New York. Jim Ross
Like
back.
Mike Fever. First off, Mike Fever, all-time great wrestling name. But also the fact that that guy is Mike Fever. That's the Miz's dad.
Screaming Eagles.
When did Barry Windham just give up? A little bit after this. Married a woman with a lot of money and just realized wrestling didn't have to be like a stressful thing anymore.
Bill Kazmaier and Cactus Jack one-on-one. And the bodyguard of Lex Luger, Mr. Hughes, will be wrestling. It'll be a great night on Pro Wrestling New York. Arm drag takeover by Dustin Rhodes.
By the way, shout out to my SSRI gang. Almost 900 people will watch me take my pill for the night.
And Dustin will be meeting.
Who cared less about wrestling but was still so good at it. Barry was a better wrestler, would say. Like, Barry could do like 60 minutes with Ric Flair and not give a shit. And it would still be incredible. And yeah, that's a good point from Bowser Extension. Barry's knees also did go, which would do the trick. Holy shit, they're hitting each other. Mike Fever seems so confused. Like, why is this guy hitting me? Yeah, that's when Barry put on all the weight in like 93. It's because he just couldn't do cardio anymore. Pink. Zan Panzer's lucha name is amoxicillin. Pepto-Bismol. Yes. Hey, Silky.
For some unknown reason, Barry Windham will be a teammate in the Chamber of Horrors.
Yeah, that was so weird. They put him on the heel team even though he was a babyface.
Namely, Abdul the Butcher, the Diamond Stud, and Oz.
Of course, they injured him before the match. They had Larry Zbyszko slam the door on his arm.
A tremendous display of offense by Windham and Rhodes. A pair of bulldogs. And when we come back, the Freebirds recently posed as the Screaming Eagle. They certainly surprised the enforcers. Here's what happened. And as you see the video,
Yeah, so yeah, this is an angle. If you can't tell, the Screaming Eagles were the Freebirds.
that
but they were like the British #1 contenders or the British tag team champions or something.
But the Screaming Eagles, quite obviously, were the Freebirds in disguise. Anderson, using the championship belt, hit Garvin.
I love the Bulldog. I disagree with you, Casual Villainy. I respectfully disagree. I don't like the Scotty 2 Hottie version, where you just kind of like fling the guy's back of the head, but you put him in a headlock. That I'm all about that shit. Look at how wet Arn Anderson looks. The hair's dry, the body's moist. There's a lot of wrestling booking in this era that would not work today because of Google. Holy shit, who's the guy in the blue jacket? Oh shit, I think I know this match. Jesse French and Scott Sandlin. Jesse French here. Watch him during this match. I've seen this match before. Jesse French. Pull some shit.
To defend the championship against the #1 team in England. A team known only
Arn Anderson had just celebrated his 18th birthday the week of the show. Yeah, Jesse French is already like hot dogging in the corner, and Arn's like, fuck, this guy's a mark. Jesse French is wearing a flag shirt because he thinks he's the star. Scott Sandlin, who looks like if Will Forte did a wrestling character.
For the World Tag Team Championship. And it should be a most interesting meeting between two veteran teams. This is Scott Sandlin. Nice fire.
Scott Sandlin was one of Rip Rogers' guys that he would drive up the TV tapings. Or drive down, brother.
Started his career in the WWF. He hails originally from Pittsburgh.
Look at Jim Ross saying WWF.
Here on the East Coast was his feud
being saucy.
With Bruno Sammartino some years back. Anderson also no stranger to the
I think this is his answer to Global. Scott Hudson and John Horton, Craig Johnson, bringing up other companies' history around this time.
In his career, been a member of a team that has beaten such illustrious duos as the Road Warriors, the Freebirds.
There we go. As I'm telling you, this is about to be a mess.
So Anderson is a real tag team strategist.
Arn's like, fuck your face. Also, Jesse French is wearing a glove for some reason.
The WCW event in the Meadowlands on Friday, December the 27th.
Yeah, Arn's pissed that Jesse French was like trying to hot dog during the entrances. Larry holy shit. Larry Zbyszko here, Cecil looked up, is the same age that the Bella twins are now. That's incredible. Modern medicine, everybody. Come on, you idiot! They are roughing this dude up.
So they are
come on, idiot!
Like in their efforts, very sadistic in their methods,
yeah.
And very successful in their technique.
There we go. Gonna get a gourd buster here. Oh! What a cheek first. Oh God. Larry's 40 years old. Same age as the Bellas. Holy shit. This is why you don't fuck around as a 90s job guy. I mean, you can't anymore because it's 2024. But.
Eric Bischoff will be having a few words with the enforcers. There's that spine buster.
Like, when the spine buster is the most gentle looking thing in the match.
Anderson now makes the exchange with Zbyszko. And this
one of those holds. Again, that's a little gentle, but still.
Our colleague Eric Bischoff,
yeah, they hurt him. They bruised him up a bit. That was fun. Jesse French, we hardly watched this. This is ridiculous.
Into a driving high impact.
Oh!
Suplex. Anderson,
Look at Arn's hair too. Kind of got that look like when you first wake up. Ah.
Worth another look. Let's go now to Eric Bischoff.
Yes, they were like, we'll be gentle with you in the finish, but we're going to hurt you before then.
In tag team action as they make their way into the interview area. I will try to get the attention of the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. And
Larry Zbyszko was in a mood.
Halloween Havoc pay-per-view, you were signed to meet the US.
They should have called the Spinebuster the Glock.
I gotta ask you, there's this new tag team, the Screaming Eagles.
Let me tell you about the Screaming Eagle Freebird Junk.
The Screaming Eagle Freebird Junk.
With the last two real men on the face of the planet. And now they want to be Eagles? Let me tell you something. We'll put you on that same platform as the national symbol of America. We're going to make you two punks.
Larry always liked to say something in interviews to make sure you knew that he read a newspaper in the locker room.
Just made the endangered species list. Screaming Eagles. You picked the two right guys to make you birds start screaming.
And another thing on page 3.
Anderson, I know next week, Halloween Havoc, it's a big date in your mind. What do you think about these Screaming Eagles?
If you didn't want to be world
Jim Belushi of wrestlers.
Why would you be in this business? So I understand your motive. I don't understand the way
Larry
you
really
go
hit the
about
booking
it.
sheets.
You see, don't jump us from behind. Don't wear a mask out here, because Freebirds...
Hear that, Zan Panzer? You pervert.
You knew what happened when you stuck your nose in our business. Understand one thing. You don't parachute out of an airplane and get a title
Larry
shot.
should have read random Headlander's notes or quotes. Should have just, Dear Abby?
Like we did. We beat everybody. If you want some of this, come get it. Head up. We're not hard to find. We're the champions, and we'll stay that way as long as we want.
God, Larry's traps here are ridiculous.
Right after this.
Look, you never think of Larry as being a body guy.
Thanks for being with us here tonight, everyone, on Pro Wrestling New York, and it's going to be a big matchup.
Wearing a coat now, doing prop humor.
Exclusively on pay-per-view, Sunday, October 27th, it's Flying Brian Pillman facing Richard Morton of the York Foundation. The prize will be the first
we're just adding a match to the
WCW
pay-per-view.
Light Heavyweight Championship. But a few weeks ago, we saw this matchup, Terrence Taylor and Flying Brian. As I mentioned earlier,
It's not the same guy,
nothing
Jim.
will be settled there. What will be settled in just a few moments?
You know, I think Flying Brian is really stupid, and I'll tell you why. I know he's a great athlete, and Ms. York knows that as well.
Oh yeah, Ricky was definitely a shoot light heavyweight.
Richard Morton for the light heavyweight
Very small
championship of
man.
the world. Terrence Taylor steps up, and he wants to eliminate Flying Brian. Why would Pillman put himself in such a predicament? Because Ms. York knows he's a definite threat to win the title.
Well, I think, Paul, he's a competitor. He's not going to turn down any challenges, and he's
Well,
putting
he
a
should.
lot on the line. And you're going to see it right now as we go to the ring.
They never addressed why Paul put on a coat. You can't just do that mid-show.
Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by the executive director of the York Foundation, Alexander.
So Terry would put on a suit for promos, but then he didn't get anything new for ring gear. Though he did have somebody sew Terrence on the back of his jacket. Will she predict how long the match will be?
From New Jersey, Gary Michael Capetta.
New Jersey.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Cincinnati, Ohio, 227 pounds.
The light heavyweight division, the limit was ridiculous. It was like 235. I don't know why they said Terry Taylor was a light heavyweight. He's not. Even with this, but yeah, the light heavyweight division was through 235 and under at this point.
Coslin has instilled in the Jets. I really believe they think they can win again.
Yeah, Pillman was like 230. Pillman was huge because He wanted to be a heavyweight, but he was like 5'9", 5'10".
Taylor, the veteran competitor from Vero Beach, Florida.
I thought it was Vera Beach.
Ranked this week in the top 10 in WCW. That's more right there. Good arm drag takeover. As we talked about, the York Foundation certainly would love to inflict either a physical or mental injury on Flying Brian before
I think when Brian was playing football, he was like 230. And he was like way bigger than this. He had traps up like to his temples. It is Vero Beach, okay. I thought they always said Vera Beach. But again, maybe... Again, I'm not a smart person. I've done 90 of these streams that I hope you all have realized by now. I'm not a smart person.
A former special team star in the National Football League for the Cincinnati
I always thought, like, I'm not a football guy. I always thought special teams sounded way cooler than being, like, a quarterback.
And Terrence trying some intimidation here. You know, one would...
All right, more factoids. Stephen J. Neptune Man. This week in sports history. For October the 19th, 91, the Twins beat the Braves 5-2 in Game 1 of the 91 World Series. The New Jersey Devils lost to the Washington Capitals to go 4 for 4 in the season. And the New York Rangers beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-4 to go 5-4 in the season. Thank you so much once again, Stephen J. Neptune Man, bringing the factoids. And to get us in the mind frame of this period of time. Thank you, Jonathan. I assure you I'm not working. Or am I?
To take on perhaps the most bizarre individual in the world, Cactus Jack. Plus the awesome Mr. Hughes, the big bodyguard of Lex Luger, will be wrestling in the broadcast.
Yeah, like I only watched a few full football games when I was a kid to impress my dad, make him think I was all like cool and masculine and shit. Otherwise, my only real knowledge of kickers in football are Pat McAfee, since I live about an hour near Indianapolis, and Kurt Hummel on Glee. Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies.
Magazines. Literally hundreds of places in the area.
Tommy Rich at ringside, trading stocks on his laptop. You think she played Oregon Trail? Flying Brian has died of dysentery.
Billman rammed into the security railing. I know Flying Brian is certainly looking forward to the Meadowlands on Friday, December 27th. We don't have the card yet. We do not know the lineup, but he has certainly requested to be on it. I think he enjoys not only competing in the Meadowlands in front of the great fans, but the nightlife.
I'm not a Pat McAfee guy.
Certainly fits this
Not.
from Cincinnati's lifestyle. And that
You think that laptop predicted Lexus King? I don't think we have technology now that could conjure Brian Pillman's 32-year-old rookie offspring.
he is an intense competitor.
Ooh, really? I need to watch that. Thank you, Shellcracker. Is it on a streaming platform? Oregon Trail documentary. I will have to check it out.
Every trick in the book. Brian, much too overzealous there, and Taylor sidestepped him, rammed him face first into the turnbuckle. Brian.
Oh, shit.
Right in the head. You could hear
Yes.
Miss York has the
Steroid. The Pat McAfee DLC for the WWE game. I had like all of Mike Bailey's moves for some reason, which was awesome. I think it had like the coffin drop too.
Quite frankly, for entering the ring. Pillman was in a position to be
Does it say that Doug Sommers drowned crossing the Kansas River? No, clearly he would float. Crashing the laptop into Brian Pillman's brain would have predicted Lexus King.
I don't know if the referee made the right or the wrong call. There's no doubt that Brian.
I love how it's very confusing on these shows who's feuding with who. Like everybody's just kind of feuding with each other, teaming with each other.
Right there in the
Oh
head.
shit.
That was obvious, but the referee didn't see it. confusion at the end of this one. Rich knocked out by Big Josh, and right there, a very basic cradle, surprising Taylor.
Bow, bow.
And Pro Wrestling New York continues after this.
Mark E. Ortega, thank you so much for the follow. And everybody over on Twitter, come over here on YouTube. Not on YouTube. Don't follow me on YouTube too, but definitely throw me a follow on Twitch. Most fun. I love this hallway.
You see, Terrence Taylor just came out of the shower, and of course we're on national TV, and I want to be a...
Why would the shower be that close to the door?
And right now I want to speak to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the total package, Lex Luger. And Mr. Luger, if you don't mind... Well, he's in a training session with Harley Race and Mr. Hughes, and of course we can't interrupt that because he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And Z-Man, if you don't mind, we're on national TV right now, and I personally...
This is the shit WWE should be recreating at their, like, Access events.
We're here with the Z-Man right here on WCW, and I want to talk to the Z-Man because WCW action figures by Galoob.
If a grown man handed me an action figure in a bathroom...
Wrestling fans, the following contest, it is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Auburn, Alabama.
There we go. Main event time, I think. Maybe. Well, it's the main event of the show. There might still be another match. This is the advertised main event. Bill Kazmaier, who appears to have not even tried with his rib tape. He just, like, shoved a paper towel in his singlet. Like, it looks like he just got wet.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Truth
Or like he got shot before the match. Seriously, that's Peg Bundy shit. And again, Nick Patrick gets all of the feature matches. Yeah, he didn't bother sticking that on his body. What type of tape? Injured ribs and you just slap a piece of tape on your side? Come on.
661-pound bench press. You can be at less than full strength and still be an awesome competitor. Cactus Jack stomping away. Lateral press.
Like, what's even the point of that? Oh, shit. That was crazy. Oh, I thought... What is Nick Patrick doing? He's just sitting on the apron. I think he tucked a towel. Or the other word you used.
The last time I was in the city. Somewhat incoherent.
Is he gonna do the flip? Oh, shit. Oh, my... Oh! Poor Mick. I think Kazmaier tried to catch him, and that didn't go very well. Oh, poor Mick's head. One of those Hell in a Cell bumps might have been safer than that. Jeez.
Just like the Giants can expect.
Looks we're close to 1,000 viewers between Twitter and Twitch. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so scared. Oh, please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Abby, get in the ring so he can put the man down. I'm so anxious right now. Abby, stop. He just hit his partner in the balls. Again. And again. Kazmaier is not selling shit. Put Mick Foley down. Notice how Jesse French is not amongst the wrestlers making the save. Yeah, I think Mick was like 34 when he had his retirement match in 2000. So he was really young here. Very abrupt how they cut from that match, by the way.
Is to go to New York City. And the reason we go to New York City because it's bright lights, big city. It's the Big Apple. And
I love how Teddy Long's like, I will dress fancy, and by dress fancy I mean put a boa on over my sweater.
And we also say hello to my main man, the Sandman. Sandman, you get them right off that stage when they ain't doing the right thing. Now, another place we go is Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yow. Teddy.
Why don't you show them some of that beautiful stuff that we just bought in New York City? You're going to be wearing across this country in every arena all over this world. Now, if you want to see some of this
Like Teddy Long, very accepting of his queer friend. And Mark Morrow's just showing off his thongs.
What do you call this? Little fringes. You know, I've been thinking about getting some of these fringes myself, put a little bit on me, make myself look a little
Yeah, they don't even tease that they're like romantic. It's just Teddy's just very supportive of his queer friend. Very sweet.
Back to New York City, New Jersey, the Meadowlands, Harlem, Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, more money, more money, more money. That's what
Money, more money, more money.
I want you to talk to him a little bit, baby.
I mean, Great American Bash that year,
I'm the greatest wrestler of all time. I got the fastest hands.
Brian Pillman goes, Johnny be bad, more like Johnny be gay into the camera. And they start chanting the F slur. Oh, we still have a match coming up. Mr. Hughes, the bodyguard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest.
Nothing is too much for WCW New York.
He will be accompanied by the mentor to the World Heavyweight Champion, Harley Race. From Kansas City, weighing 365 pounds. Personal bodyguard to the World Heavyweight
Like,
Champion.
that could not have been fun to wrestle in. Yeah, just straight a full suit, sunglasses, hat, no mobility. Jumpin' Joey Mags, the reason for these streams. My guy, when I was around this age, I've told the story. I won't bore you with it. Suffice to say, I'm a Joey Mags guy. Wait, did the match suck so bad that they had to cut it out, all of it? With a promo?
7 days to survive till Halloween Havoc. And guaranteed fact, you're not going to walk in to
Harley Race had the perfect wrestler voice.
This man and this man are going to take care of that.
Not only may you not walk in 100% Harley, but maybe not at all. I give you the opportunity of a
So
lifetime.
I love casual Lex just kind of leaning on his belt there. You know, hanging out.
What do you do? You don't sit back and train and get.
Hell yeah, Jonathan. Mark Starr and Joey Mags. My guys. Without them, there'd be no WCW Deep Cuts
I
Live.
want to sign a tag match. Well, thank you very much, Ron Simmons. But it comes down to this. There's a national order selection. Barry Windham's felt it, and you felt it. And now, right down on the countdown, Ron Simmons, you put a big target on your chest, and you say, take me out. That's exactly what's going to happen, because this right here is the king of the jungle, Ron Simmons.
The king of the jungle, Ron Simmons.
This is the king of the hill, the WCW World's Heavyweight Champion, and that's the way it's going to remain, because Ron Simmons, when it comes right down to it, if you get out in one piece, you won't be 100% for Halloween Havoc.
Is Harley sleeping with... Holy shit, he might be sleeping with his eyes open. He's not blinking. What is going on? Oh yeah, they clearly had to edit something. Wow.
Simmons in 8 days exclusively on pay-per-view. Big 2 out of 3 fall matchup. And you know, I think that
Mr. Hughes' big bragging point. Oh, fuck. That he could wrestle a match without his sunglasses falling off. Oh, God.
As if WCW is building their foundation on younger athletes, on younger men just getting to the...
Yeah, WCW's building their foundation on younger wrestlers, not those grandpas like the guy who was world champion here 3 months ago.
And I think that is basically the cornerstone on which WCW is being built right now. Guys like the Steiner brothers, who will reunite at Halloween Havoc next Sunday, October 27th on pay-per-view. I want to remind you, fans, that next week here
Harley's gonna do something. Harley Race, by the way, had been an active wrestler like 5-6 months before this.
We'll also see a World Television Championship matchup featuring Stunning Steve Austin defending his championship. Ron Simmons will
Come on,
be
buddy.
Cactus Jack and
Come on,
Abdullah
Joey.
team competition. It's going to be a tremendous
Like, there are people in this audience that actively look angry that they're at this show.
You'll join us for that. Mr. Hughes has totally dominated Joey Mag.
Totally dominant.
Thunderous right hand by the bodyguard. We hope you fans will plan on joining us at Halloween Havoc. Again, great drop kick. Considering this man weighs over 350 pounds, that is simply a fascinating offensive move.
Yeah, Jim Ross was a youth guy. Like, look at his run and talent relations in WWE. Like, you hit like 32 and he's wanting to like put the axe dead on you. Mike Atkins gets to go back to the barbecue that he came from with his little drink and the foam holder.
We'll take another very quick look here. Mr.
I mean, Terry Funk's the exception to youth for everybody. He's Terry Funk.
Champion, the total package, Lex Luger. This is an awesome
Just
individual.
jumped up here. Okay, good. She's not getting cords.
360. Powerful slam. Luger is in tough company.
Luger's in tough company.
Mr. Hughes is one awesome individual, and of course he will be at
Like, did the
ringside
heat go out in the
Sunday,
studio?
October 27th, 7 o'clock, exclusively on pay-per-view when Lex Luger defends the World Heavyweight Championship. 2 out of 3 falls against the former Florida State football All-American, Ron Simmons. Now, Paul, right here next week, world premiere video. He's from New York City.
Oh shit, we're not gonna get to see the Van Hammer video. I'm sorry, guys.
Video debut right here next week.
What's that voice? Hey, we'll get to see part of it. All right, Yankee Hawk, thank you so much. See you next time. Have a good night. Glad to have you. You know, all those rock stars that jam out on the dock at the lake. That's maybe the most athletic thing Hammer ever did. I want an oral history of the making of the Van Hammer music video. I want to know who all these other guys are. Like, I believe they shot it at the warehouse that would end up being the power plant. That might have been the bugger from earlier. Shit. That's a good eye, Cecil.
Of course, I know you got your girlfriend, you know, Trampy Teresa from Teaneck dumped me. So I just want to let you know right now, on a personal note, Marla Maples, if you're still out there, if you're still crying over Donald, please call me because I need a date for the party.
Hey, if Marla's not available, maybe Harvey Fierstein would...
That'd be great. I mean, after all, is that so wrong?
What's with the Harvey Fierstein jokes? All right. Let these credits play out. Jam out a little bit. But I know. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thank you all so much across both platforms, Twitch and Twitter tonight, for, I mean, not just breaking viewership records, but annihilating them. Nearly 1,000 people are watching as I close out tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes here on a Tuesday evening. I'm back, no off the grid this Sunday. I'm back to taking every other Sunday off now that Tony Khan's done messing with the Tuesdays. So no off the grid this week. I'll be back next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for more WCW Deep Cuts going to the year 1995. But like I always like to close these shows with, especially since we have so many people watching right now, even if you don't make it here next Tuesday, which I hope you do, but even if you don't, just make it to next Tuesday. That's all I'm asking. 7 days. I'm pretty sure we can pull this one. I'm happy to have you here, and I'm so lucky to get to hang out with you guys every Tuesday and every other Sunday. Even when things are rough, I know I got this. So you make a weird little boy like me, weird little 37-year-old boy, make me feel real special. Thank you for that. Again, my name's Tom Green. It's down there. Tom Green. This has been WCW Deep Cuts Live. Go to bed.